And I will record this call for all that couldn't join today. So, dear participants, good afternoon. Welcome to the selection panel kickoff call of Deep Tech 2021 online program. This is the agenda for the call today. We start with warm welcome by our leadership team. Then you will be kindly invited to introduce yourself shortly. After that, we continue with a short intro about TechTour by William, our Group Managing Director. Then I will give you an overview on the Deep Tech 2021, describing also the role of the selection panel in few simple steps and providing details about important deadlines and upcoming activities. And at the end, we'll try to keep a few minutes for questions that you might have. It's an honor and pleasure to introduce the leadership team of Deep Tech 2021. And now I give the floor to our president, Osman Kent, for a short welcome to you all.
Thanks, Natalia. This is my, I think, fifth Deep Tech Summit, as it used to be called. And the second one is the president. And I can't believe how every year this event keeps getting better. I think last year we had the best cohort ever, and I'm hoping that we're gonna have even a better cohort this year. For those of you, I know most of you, but for those of you who do not know me, I'm a venture partner at Atlantic Bridge Capital. We are a deep tech investor with about $1.5 billion under management. And this year we have the bragging rights because we had 4 unicorns so far this year. But I jokingly say that I crossed to the dark side only during the last 3-4 years. I've been a lifelong entrepreneur, and that's important because we exist. This event exists because of the entrepreneurs, and when we are judging them, helping them, coaching them, we must remember that they are our lifeline, and that's why we exist. And it's this whole event is for the entrepreneurs. And I am so glad this year that we have an extraordinary selection panel. And thank you, those of you whose arms are twisted to join to the selection panel. Thank you for joining. And also we tried to make a special effort this year to bring some extraordinary women which exist in the industry, but are for some reason have not been represented in events like this before. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my vice presidents, and then I'll hand over the baton to them. Pierre from Jolt Capital, he'll be heading the hardware stream. Helen, who's also part of Atlantic Bridge, but I call her one of our super women, and she's the vice president of software, and she runs our Unifund. And Christopher, he runs our partnership program. So Pierre, we'll start from you.
Yes, thanks, Osman. So it's a pleasure to be part of this panel on hardware. I should say that I also crossed the dark side of the moon about 3 years ago. I've been in the hardware business for 30 years, more in the operator side, and joined Jolt Capital, which are also deep tech investors, both in hardware and software, but always in B2B. Mm-hmm. We are smaller than our friends at Atlantic Bridge. We are about 500 million euros under management. And I've been indeed trying to escape from the hardware world a few times in my career, but I've been bring back to the hardware all the time, and mainly in semiconductors and optics systems. So anyhow, great panel I've seen around us, and I think it's going to be extremely interesting. And again, I mean, innovation is all over the place. I was yesterday at the Rencontre d'Aix in terms of economical trends, and only the high tech will save us in the future, not only for the planet and the climate, but also for any type of new behaviors that we'll have to work on the digitalization. So I think a lot has to come from the new generation, I should say, and I'm very excited about this opportunity with all of you.
Yeah. Helen?
Hi, Osman. Hi, everybody. Thanks for inviting me to be Vice President, Osman. He didn't bully me into it at all. I was delighted to take part. I've heard and have been following so much about the Tech Tour for many, many years. So I was really thrilled to be asked to represent the software group. And I'm delighted to see some familiar faces on the call and take the opportunity over the next several months to make new friends and build new relationships with other co-investors. At Atlantic Bridge, I am responsible for managing our early stage seed fund, which is known as the University Fund. It is one of many and a growing number of funds across Europe and the US that are dedicated to investing in deep technology companies that are emerging from our research base and our universities, particularly focused on universities in Ireland, but we have also been making investments in other jurisdictions and attracting those companies to Ireland. We're on our second fund. We've just done a first close on our second fund. So we now have over 130 million investing in early stage companies coming out of the research base here. My own background is electronic engineering. So maybe a hardware person at heart, but completed a PhD in AI many, many years ago, and have been tracking with great interest a lot of the progression of companies, particularly those in the speech and audio space, which was the area of my own research. So thrilled to be part of the group today, and nice to meet everybody.
Thank you, Helen. Christopher?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So thanks so much, Osman, for the chance to say a few words. So I'm Chris. I'm based here in the Netherlands. I've been here for about 12 years. Prior to that, I was working at a startup that I helped found. It's still out there, doing around 25 million. It's in the compliance SaaS space. My general, I guess, orientation is to really focus on international partnerships with the change in kind of the digital sort of approach towards Tech Tour gatherings, which I've participated in maybe since 2014 or something like that, off and on. I really want to take advantage of that and continue to try to dial in on the value that the club and the Tech Tour as an organization can offer to the CVCs and the M&A kind of corporate folks, but also really thinking about the digital heads of infrastructure and architecture at these companies, especially with Europe's sort of deep tech expertise. I think life sciences, climate, and then digital generally cross verticals creates a lot of really interesting value propositions and opportunities, particularly with the data, kind of the GDPR, the AI Act that came out recently. So there was some perception, I think, perception things, I believe, globally, where Europe got an advantage. And so it's really trying to take advantage of that. If you have any thoughts on the types of partners you think we should be working with, either because they would be good for your portfolio companies, or just in general, you feel they would be good for the community of Tech Tour, please let me know. Of course, warm introductions are welcomed, but there's 15 very specific companies that I'm working on with William. And again, looking forward to getting to know folks. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Back to you, Natalia.
Thank you very much, Osman, for the introduction that you did for the leadership team. Now I'm happy to announce that we have 54 amazing investors and deep tech experts in the selection panel this year. And it's time to start with the introduction roundtable. I will invite each one of you to say a few words about yourself and your organization. And now I give the floor to Adam from ARM Holding.
Hi everyone. I think some familiar faces on the sort of list, and some less familiar. So hello to those who know, and I'll get to know hopefully a few more over the coming weeks and months. Adam Bastian, I look after M&A and investments at ARM, the semiconductor IP business, which obviously is owned by SoftBank at the moment, but under offer from NVIDIA, which is in the process of going through. My background started in city and investment banking for the first sort of half of my career, and the last half at ARM, looking after M&A investments. Probably more acquisitions and investments. We have LP positions in a few funds, and we recently formed a deep tech accelerator in Cambridge, which is gone through the first cohort of companies and recruiting for the next one at the moment.
Thank you very much, Adam. Now I give the floor to Matthew from Acuity.
Hi there, everybody. It's Matthew Byers here from Acuity. I am a managing partner. I look after our deep tech team. Acuity is an investment bank. In fact, we are one of the largest and most successful European investment banks serving the deep tech market. By background, electronic engineer, and a lot of time in the early part of my career as a semiconductor guy.
Thank you. Next is Raphael from Swiss Post Ventures. Raphael?
Yes, sorry, I was muted. I hope you can hear me now. Yeah, my name is Raphael, working for Swiss Post Ventures, the minority investment arm of Swiss Post, where we started investing in early stage companies roughly 5 years ago, looking to invest in companies raising between late seed up to Series B, where we usually participate as a co-investor. Yeah, happy to connect with some of you guys later on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raphael. Now I give the floor to Roberta from Sony Europe.
Thank you so much. Yes, so my name is Roberta. I joined Sony 8 years ago. I look after investments, M&A, and strategic partnerships for Sony. At the moment for Sony Innovation Fund, I mainly focus on investments in deep tech, industrial IoT, and the medical space. My background is in industrial engineering. I also study finance and the LSE. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Robert from B2 Partners.
Hi, everybody. Robert from B2V. We got started as Brains to Ventures over 20 years ago in Switzerland, have become a pan-European investor over the years. I sit in our Munich office. We also have a Berlin office, invest all across Europe, somewhere between seed and Series A mostly. Specifically, I manage with 3 other partners our Industrial Technologies Fund, which is a 100 million fund we raised in 2018 for applications all along the industrial value chain, including also transversal deep technologies like quantum computing and a few exciting things we're going to see here, I hope, and look forward to working on this together.
Thank you. Now, Paul from Gilmore Stevens.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm Paul Gillespie from Gilmore Stevens. We've been part of the Deep Tech Summit since the very early days, and we're an executive search company. We work with startups and scale-ups across the technology market. So deep tech for us at this point in time is semiconductors, battery chemistries, satellite constellations, robotics, photonics, advanced materials, and even a rocket launcher company. And we build out the boards and the C-level. And I'm in the London office, but we're also in California, Boston, Singapore, and Shanghai.
Thank you very much, Paul. Now it's the next in our amazing selection panel list is Carl from Samsung Electronics.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Carl from Samsung Research. I head up our tech collaboration and investment part here in Europe for our divisions. We have one of the 10 probably different funds in Samsung Group that Samsung Ventures heads up. We look at anything on data, machine learning, and sensors. Look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Now Haya from Elia Partners.
Yeah, hello everyone. Haya here presenting Elia, a European B2B tech VC firm with a very strong tech DNA, created about 20 years ago. We currently manage around 600 million euros, and we've invested in more than 100 companies since our creation, and we exited around 30 or 40 of them. We're mainly software, but we have multiple deals coming up in hardware because we have a multi-sectorial fund now. My own background is mainly in physics, and I've been investing in deep tech startups for the past 6 years. Happy to be in contact with everyone.
Thank you very much, Haya. Now Søren from MIG.
Yes, thanks, Natalia. I'm Søren. I'm a partner with MIG. We're one of the largest German-based deep tech investors with over $1 billion under management. My own background is in hardware and semiconductors. In the 90s, I was CTO of one of the divisions at Infineon. And for the last 20 years, I've been investing in hardware, and I still haven't learned my lessons. So I guess that's why they invite me to this committee. We generally start investing around A rounds plus minus, generally active lead investors. Looking forward to this committee.
Thank you very much, Søren. Now, Alain from Cottonwood.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alain Alou. I'm a general partner at Cottonwood Technology Fund. We have an office in the US. In 2014, Cottonwood came to Europe. I run the European office in the Netherlands. We invest in the seed stage. Most of our companies are pre-revenue, pre-customer, pre-product. So TRL levels 3 to 6. And then we are kind of venture builders, pick it up from there. We have 4 unicorns in our portfolio out of 20. And we like to invest in photonics, robotics, materials, sensor technology, medtech, those nanotechnology, those kind of, and also clean energy, those kind of things, but always hardware related, patent based.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Regis from Supernova.
Hi everybody, my name is Regis. I'm a software and artificial intelligence engineer by training. I first spent 10 years in the enterprise software industry, then 10 years investing in software early stage companies, and then 10 more years in hardware deep tech companies with Supernova, my current funds management company based in Paris. Supernova is a pioneer and leader in very deep tech early stage companies, including microelectronics, medtech, and solutions for industry.
Thank you. Now I give the floor to Rudy from KBC Focus Fund.
Hi there, this is Rudy. Quite a number of familiar faces on here, but maybe the name KBC Focus Fund doesn't ring a bell for most of you. It's quite a new initiative of the KBC Banking Group located in Belgium. It's a deep tech fund initiative, particularly focused on microelectronics, nanotech, and industrial IoT. It's a 55 million kind of first-time fund. Where we are planning to do a lot more on this. So I joined KBC in 2019, but I've been active in VC for around 20 years now with investment companies like GIMV, Capital E, and some others. My background is I'm an engineer in electronics, and I've been investing mostly in the hardware-related and/or software companies for quite a number of years. In an earlier part of my career, I've been with Philips Research as well as with Siemens, running a couple of business lines for telecommunication products.
Thank you.
We normally invest in the Series A and seed stage.
Thank you very much, Rudy. Now I give the floor to David from Industry Fonden.
Hi, I'm David Sonek. I'm a former physics researcher, presently CEO of Industry Fonden, a Nordic deep tech investor with about $1 billion evergreen fund. And our latest success was Oatly. We invested when it still was a deep tech startup 20 years ago. Now we're a huge listed company. But I'll be leaving Industrifond after summer to set up a new deep tech fund within the Wallenberg Foundations, and that's one of Europe's largest private research funding bodies.
Thank
So
you.
that's about it. Thanks.
Thank you very much, David. Now Sebastian from Flux Unit Austrian Ventures.
Hi, good afternoon. It's Sebastian. I'm a principal at Flux Unit, the venture arm of the AMS Austrian Group. I just recognize I have to change my name and tech to as well, or the title. So I'm based in Munich. We are a true deep tech fund, basically set up like a single LP venture fund with focus on early stage companies, so later seed and Series A stages. We invest into everything with a focus on hardware in particular, semiconductors, especially related to optical solutions and photonics, and of course, trying to pull and leverage the resources and network of our mother company for the portfolio companies. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the discussion and to be part of this great group.
Thank you. Thank you, Sebastian. Now I give the floor to Pietro from Silver Peak.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good to see so many faces, friendly faces of people I've been working and known for so long, and some new ones joining the committee. I'm managing partner of Silver Peak, and Silver Peak is an investment bank focused on technology and growth companies, and we have a very strong practice in deep tech. I'm actually joined by a partner of mine, by Paddy, who didn't make it somehow to the list of faces on this slide. Anyway, maybe he can introduce himself just after me. I'm also a microelectronic and optoelectronic engineer. And as a firm with Silver Peak, we are sponsoring the event, and we're delighted to see so many participants to the panel, but really look forward to the selection of the companies. And as Osman already said, last year was a fantastic group. We trust this year is going to be even better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pietro. Of course, Paddy Maguire is in the list, but in the software track, so it's just coming a bit later.
Okay,
Don't worry about it. Thank you. So now I give the floor to Aileen from In-Q-Tel.
Hi, everyone, and nice to see so many people from the past. So my name is Aileen Tanghal. I am the managing director of In-Q-Tel International. But I have a warm place in my heart for European hard tech startups because I got my start here as a venture capitalist, which some of you are around for that, back in 2001 at Amadeus Capital Partners, where I invested in a lot of hard tech companies, and at Kennet. Then went back to the States and ran the venture capital fund of Applied Materials, as well as the new business ventures team at ARM. So that probably shows you that I am indeed a semiconductor microelectronics person by background. So I studied electrical engineering, et cetera, at MIT, and of course worked at Motorola Semiconductor a long time ago when it was still called that. But In-Q-Tel, if some of you don't know who we are, In-Q-Tel was founded 20 years ago by the US intelligence community to really find startups that could help their mission in the US. And about 3 years ago, we opened up offices in both London and in Sydney, and in partnership with the UK and Australian governments. And so we are making investments. The general areas for interest for In-Q-Tel are cybersecurity, infrastructure and analytics on the enterprise side, and on the side called field technologies, we do a lot of industry 4.0. We do intelligent connectivity. We do bio type investments for biodefense. And then, of course, we do anything to do with autonomous systems, everything from sensors to full systems itself. So we're a very active investor. We have something like 500 portfolio companies. We do about 60 investments per year. Although we are just getting started here in the UK, our volume is of course increasing with me coming over. And we really look forward to working with any and all of you, those of you who I've known from the past and those who I hope to get to know. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Aileen. Now I give the floor to Kalle from Siemens Mobility.
Hi, this is Kalle. For some reason, my camera doesn't work. Sorry, and I just noticed that I didn't send in a picture as well, Natalia. I just came back from holidays, actually, 2 weeks in your lovely home country, Pietro, in Italy. I'm working with Siemens Mobility, which is a portfolio company of the Siemens Group. It's around about 10 billion in revenues, located in Munich. We are a team of 10 M&A professionals in our Siemens Mobility Group. We cover basically anything from bolt-on M&A acquisitions to strategic venture capital. So anything we do out of Siemens Mobility is of high strategic relevance for our own business or portfolio units. What we focus on is software enabling our hardware products we have in the portfolio. With respect to investment size, we can lead rounds, but are also co-investors on occasional basis.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kalle. The next is Thorsten from Huawei Ventures.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thorsten Lipieski. I'm responsible for the business development for hardware engineering of Huawei in Europe. And we are always looking for interesting companies where we can cooperate with and also do investments in. And prior to joining Huawei, I was an investor in renewable energies, and before that, a CEO of a startup company making blue LEDs, also COO of a startup company making optical transceivers, and did many other things in life. My educational background is optoelectronics and semiconductors, so got a PhD from the University in Ulm, Germany. And I look forward to working with you and see more interesting companies this year. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Thorsten. Now we continue with the software track, and I give the floor to Ivan from NRW Bank.
Thank you, Natalia. Hello to everyone. Very happy to be here today. My name is Ivan Albino. I'm responsible for venture capital investments in the digital space for the NRW Bank. For those who are not familiar with the bank, NRW Bank is the 4th largest bank of Europe with over 160 billion euro of assets under management. We have also a lot of activities in the VC space. We are at our 3rd fund generation. I spent a number of years before joining the bank in the energy sector, in the energy branch. I have a background in engineering and in finance.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ivan. The next is Miguel from Sonai.
Yes, hello, good afternoon. Sorry, I had to join later. So yes, Miguel Bagulho. I lead retail tech investments at Sonai Investment Management. We are a corporate VC, part of a larger group in retail and telco activities, and we invest in software companies that operate around retail, telco, and cybersecurity is a 3rd topic. Typically, we invest Series A to Series C and also play a private equity approach. I have a financial background and really happy to meet you all and glad to be invited to this event.
Thank you. Thank you, Miguel. Now, Kerry from IQ Capital.
Hi there, it's good to see you again, lots of familiar faces. I'm the managing partner of IQ Capital. I've been in venture capital now for about 23 years, always in early stage deep tech. For me, it started when I set up an internet trading floor back in the 90s, and then I jumped into venture capital in the mid 90s, and it kind of went from there. I founded IQ Capital in 2006. We're on our 5th fund, investing from seed and up to 30 million in our outperformers, making investments in really deep tech, early IP-rich hardware, med tech, software. I tend to head up cyber, reg tech, sup tech, and big data. And I'm also the current chair of the British Private Equity and Venture Capital Association. So thank you for letting me join you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kerry. Now Borja from Inveready.
Hi, everybody, and sorry about the noise on the camera, but I'm in the middle of a train now. I hope you hear me well.
Yes.
I'm the investment manager at Inveready. We're a Spanish VC who has more than 500 million of assets under management, more than 100 portfolio companies, and we have invested in deep tech companies since our origins. We normally invest in Series C, and we can also join in Series A. We normally lead our rounds, and just hope that I get to know most of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Borja. Now I give the floor to Dilek from ScaleX Ventures.
Hi, everyone. Dilek from ScaleX Ventures. I am the founding and managing partner of ScaleX, an early stage VC fund, investing in European startups in deep tech mainly, who are aiming to go global. We not just want to invest financially, but we are also bringing the operational know-how as LP base and the managing partners, all entrepreneurs as a background. And I define myself as an entrepreneur too. Just over a year-old fund, we invested in autonomous trucking. Today, it's going to be a sleepless night, and I will do the first robotic investment. And we invested in AI software and cybersecurity mainly. So it's going to be really exciting.
Good luck, Dilek. It's amazing. Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Remy from ETF Partners.
Hello, Remy de Tonac, entrepreneur in deep tech hardware for about 30 years with two companies, GemPlus, SmartCard, and Inside Secure, NFC and mobile payments. Turned venture capitalist 5 years ago with ETF Partners, a fund investing in entrepreneurs that address some of the sustainability challenge that the world is facing, and therefore keen to invest where sustainability and deep tech do overlap, and there is a lot of overlapping here. Voila.
Merci beaucoup. The next, I invite to our virtual stage Michael from Block Ventures.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael de Mello. Again, lots of familiar faces on the line, so hello to those that I know. At least one of the people on the line today tried to sue me about 7 years ago, so that's a nice hello again to that person. So looking forward to being reacquainted. Yeah, Block, we're a deep tech investor, multi-stage. We're a company, not a fund, although we intend to have funds under our management. We typically enter at a C+, so that's roughly around the point at which we've got some product and technology validation and some early POCs with customers. I guess our value add is a bit like many people on the call. We've all built businesses before. We've all built deep tech businesses, and we've all come from electronic and computer science backgrounds as a team. So we tend to look for founders with some fundamental computer science and some fundamental hardware science in what they build, because we think that's a slightly more defensible and sustainable model in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Now I give the floor to Gyu-Han from Act Venture Partners.
Hello, everyone. My camera works, but I'm on a vacation connecting from a beach town in southern Turkey, so sorry for the beach attire. My name is Gökhan Güner. I'm the managing partner at ACT, an early stage deep tech investment fund with offices in Istanbul and London. I also have an engineering background from University of California, Santa Barbara. And I worked mostly in engineering in the US on VLSI chip design and wireless devices. And after having lived in California for over 10 years, I moved back to Europe, and I've got the opportunity to be one of the pioneers in deep tech investments in Turkey. Now we have expanded our focus to pan-European deep tech companies. And our first fund is a 25 million euro deep tech fund aimed at Turkish technology companies. We invested in 16 companies in AI, medtech, IoT, big data, telecom, And our portfolio is going well. We have so far one exit to Amazon, and then many of them already reached Series A and going beyond and progressing. And we are in the process of raising a new fund, early stage pan-European deep tech. And we will look mostly software, maybe AI and similar software products. But also we will continue to look into medtech as well as hardware. And I will look forward to working part of this panel.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Sam from OpenOcean.
Cheers, thank you. Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Sam. So I'm an associate here in the London office of OpenOcean. For those of you who don't know OpenOcean, we're a Helsinki-based fund actually in Finland, mostly focused on a sort of pan-European, doing seed to Series A investments. Most interestingly, I guess, about our heritage is we were founded by the creators of MySQL and MariaDB. So as you can imagine, our background's quite deep in the stack, in open source software as well. And we know we look a lot at that kind of area and data infrastructure, increasingly looking at places like quantum. We have an investment in IQM in quantum computing and things like hyperconverged infrastructure, etc. In terms of assets under management, we have about 300 million. We just raised about 110 million more. So that's our latest fund, our 2020 fund. And, you know, we're typically writing checks between 1 and 5 million euros. So that's kind of our sweet spot. Personally, my background's computer science, and I was a software engineer, although I wasn't particularly good at it and left it quite sharpish after a few years and moved into operations at Uber. So I was launching that business around 2015, 2017 across the UK. And then just before coming to OpenOcean, which was just shy of 2 years ago, I was the customer experience director for an altnet company called Community Fibre, which is the largest fibre provider in London these days. So yeah, no, very keen to get involved here, and it's my first time on Tech Tour, although I know OpenOcean has been previously involved, I think, through Katya when she was at Samsung. So very happy to pick up that baton.
Thank you, Sam. You're very welcome. Now I give the floor to Christopher from Gilmore Stevens.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. So yeah, director at Gilmore Stevens. I work with Paul Gillespie. I guess a few of you probably know. Sort of, as he said, we're an executive search business servicing the technology and digital sector. My background's a little bit different. No engineering, no finance. It was psychology, then neuropsychology, before working for a UK software business, and then the last 12, 13 years within headhunting. So that's all been software, SaaS, and recently some really interesting projects with early stage AI, big data companies.
Thank you. Now Dieter from Trumpf.
Hello together. My name is Dieter. I'm director of Trumpf. We are investing.
Dieter, we cannot hear you well.
Okay. Sorry for that.
No, the sound is not okay. Could we move further and go back to you?
Of course. No, just move forward.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Now Axel from Digital Plus Partners.
Hi, I'm Axel Krieger. It's a pleasure to meet many of you again. I'm one of the founders of Digital Plus. We are a 500 million B2B focused and tech growth fund. We like in particular topics around industrial tech. We define industrial tech by use cases, mostly serving the automotive and machinery industry. Since we are Germany-based, those are the areas we believe that have a good fit with regards to scaling globally out of the country here. So I'm very much interested in working with all of you in scaling companies here out of Europe and invest tickets usually between 15 and 30 million euros, then up to 75 million.
Thank you, Axel. Now Stephen from Capricorn Partners.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Stephen Lambert, representing Capricorn Partners. We're based out of Belgium. We've been a VC for the last 28 years now, focused on deep tech. This is our 7th fund. We're currently managing about 500 million, half a billion in capital under management. We focus on, as I said, science and research-based technology innovation in both business, say new generation of corporate business applications, or some people call it Business 4.0, and then also in digital health, medtech and digital health related. Early stage investments all over Europe. Like I said, always with a connection to the research community. So maybe there's a connection there to Helen in Ireland. I think it's our first time that we're participating in the Deep Tech Summit here. So I'm looking forward to be challenged by all these smart people that you are and learn from you. My personal background is engineering, and then I spent about 10 years in the West Coast in the US, working with companies like Apple and Microsoft. And then for the last 8 years, I had my own B2B scale up. So I've got the scars on the entrepreneurship side as well. So looking forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Now I give the floor to Paddy from Silver Peak. Paddy?
Sorry, thank you. So Paddy Maguire, co-managing partner with Pietro at Silver Peak. Like Gilmore Stevens, we've been sponsoring the Deep Tech Summit since inception. It's been very successful, and as Osman said, goes from better to better, good to great. Personally, I spent my background was 7 years investing, where particularly in a number of fintech companies, and have been advising technology companies for the last 25 years since that, in the deep tech arena, principally in autonomy, robotics, medtech, and other AI ML applications, where we're seeing quite a lot in the energy sector. Our clients are all over Europe, but we always deal with sort of global counterparties. So it doesn't matter where the counterparties are, it's the client. And half our business is M&A, as well as the other half being fundraisings. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I give the floor to Maria from Promos Ventures.
Hello, everyone. I'm principal from Promos Ventures. Thanks so much for the invitation in being part of this panel. We are a deep tech and a space tech company. We have a dedicated space fund here in Europe. We do early stage investments across the board, more opportunistically in around deep tech and space as well, between 1 to 4 million as the average ticket size as a first ticket. And then myself, as a background, I came from the hedge fund world, M&A and corporate venture capital, and then I joined Promos Ventures. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Now, Margaret from Prime Ventures.
Hi, everyone. Margaret Perchik here from Prime Ventures. We are a pan-European growth stage venture firm. So we typically invest anywhere from 10 to 30 million into Series A to C businesses. We are, completely generalist, but have done a lot in the past in semiconductors and security as well. So are always looking for more deep tech businesses back. Pleased to be here.
Thank you. Now, Pedro from Armular.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pedro. Like many others in the call, also started as a physics researcher, but I haven't been a physicist in a long time. For the past 12 years, I've been a partner with Armular Venture Partners. We're a VC based in Lisbon, Portugal, investing internationally. Investing in early stage technology-based companies, about 300 million raised and invested across many companies. Now currently in our fund number 5, which is specifically a technology transfer fund in Europe. So looking for companies that are looking to commercialize IP and technology as a result of R&D in any European universities.
Thank you, Pedro. Now Francisca from Evonik.
Hi everyone, I'm Francisca. I'm investment manager for Evonik Venture Capital, so the venture capital arm of Evonik Industries, a special chemical company. We have an investment volume around 250 million euro, and has done. We exist since 8 years. I've done like 35 investments with a couple of exits now. We usually invest in early to growth stage. Yeah, and I'm like responsible for digital investments, which is not as obvious in a specialty chemical. So I had the first investments in digital investments 2017, and this is now further to grow. That's what I'm looking after. Looking forward to be part of the panel here.
Thank you very much, Franziska. And at the end, I would like to go back to Dieter. If his sound is better, maybe he can try once more to introduce himself.
Okay. Is it better now from acoustics?
Yes, okay. Much better.
Then I try to restart. So my name is Dieter. I'm a managing partner of Trump Venture Capital, a corporate venture capital unit with a sweet spot of investments in deep tech Series A plus minus. We usually see ourselves as an active investor and with a focus in cybersecurity, quantum technologies, and photonics. Myself, I'm a physicist by training and hold a PhD in atomic and nuclear physics.
Thank you very much, Dieter. And thank you all for your introductions. We believe that this great team of experts will make this year's program stronger than ever. And now I would like to give the floor to William, Group Managing Director of TechTour, to say a few words to you as a welcome from our team. William?
Yes, thank you very much, Natalia. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfect.
So, Natalia, you've been the victim of success. We're running a bit late because we have so many great investors on the panel, so I'll be short and sweet. Let me first thank Osman and congratulate him and Pierre, Helen, and Christopher putting indeed such a great selection panel together. I mean, this, I think if we add up the capital under management as well as the experience here, this is the blue chip list for any entrepreneur to talk to. And I also want to thank Wilson Sonsini, Brian Garnier, but also particularly Silver Peak, Gilmore Stevens, Pietro, and the colleagues that are here on the call for their continued support, because of course, without them, we couldn't be doing this. So just to say that we are as passionate as you are about great tech entrepreneurs, and the TechTour is always free for entrepreneurs, if of course they commit the time and they are willing to share the information. And Natalia, if you show the next slide. So this year we are selecting around 1,000 companies to be presented in 25 different programs. Deep Tech is our digital flagship, if you wish. So you have your slide where you should see valuation on the vertical axis and specialization on the horizontal axis. So Deep Tech is of course covering a fairly broad range, but we're also doing other programs in Southeast Europe, a region not so well covered, but with many great, particularly software companies coming out. We're doing also a program first time as a follow-up to the space track that we had last year in Deep Tech on space, of course, mostly focusing on sort of nano-satellite communications and data applications and Earth observation. We're doing something on sports, selecting 30 companies. You may say, well, that sounds more like healthcare, but there's a lot of digital sports, esports, which is really on the edge of computer performance, as well as digital fitness training, and of course, community platforms. As you know, sports is a very hot content topic for anybody. And last but not least, we also programmed 7th edition or so on photonics, photonics and photonics-enabled systems. Photonics, that is, of course, a key enabling technology for many of the deep tech companies. So in total, I think there's about 300-400 companies presenting, and we are grateful for the selection panel. Next slide, Natalia. I kind of noted that around half, 40%, half, and this is the way it should be, are already members of the TechTour Investors Club. Remy Tonak is the chair of the Investors Club. Osman, who is the president of this deep tech program, is leading the digital track. Carl is also a member of the council from Samsung. So of course we invite others, funds that would like to have access to all programs, and to be honest also to provide some goodwill also to the community to join the club. I think it's a relatively good price for the benefits that you get. Really take the rolls out the red carpet for the members and trying to do everything we can to give them visibility, but also access, of course, to the relevant programs and the relevant contacts. So I'm not going to bore you with the next slide, which is the difference between being an expert and being a club member. You will get this slide deck if you go to the next slide, Natalia. And of course, we also are very grateful for partners. As mentioned, we have a few here on the call. Christopher Mott, who is the Vice President Partnerships, will indeed talk to more of you and more others, particularly corporate players. And we are in a position also, of course, to offer kind of qualified scouting or deal flow across a number of the programs to make it really easy for some of the corporate players, and of course offer visibility and recognition generally for our partners. The next and final slide, you see sort of the cities and regions and clusters that we work with. So the reason we also contribute with a lot of applicant companies, not just with nominations through you, is that we have a very good network from the European Innovation Council or the European Commission to all the way to the Greek government or the Danish or the Finnish technology investment funds or clusters all across Europe, and of course specific specialty digital clusters as well. So once again, I would like to congratulate Osman and wish this selection panel not only great deal flow, but good interactions with each other, and of course success on the investments that you will make in some of the companies and success in your portfolio companies.
Thank you, William. So the next slides that I will present to you are aiming to give you some information about the main features of the Deep Tech 2021. Our concept this year is to provide online program invitation only. 45 innovative companies will be selected from a pool of nominated applicants active in two main tracks, hardware and software. Companies should be based in Europe, and we expect some of the most active VCs and corporates interested in deep tech in Europe and also out of the continent to attend online sessions together with decision makers, advisory, and other stakeholders. Here you see the main timeline of the Tech Tour Deep Tech 2021. Before the summer break, we start with the selection panel gathering, and I refer to you all who are participating in today's kickoff call. And we plan to collect your company nominations by the end of August, beginning of September. More details about the selection process I will give you in the next slides. After the summer break, we plan to finalize the selection process by 30th of September, and ideally by 20th of October to announce the best 45 selected companies who are joining the program this year. Then we go to the online sessions. We are planning to run the pitching sessions on 17th and 18th of November, where the selected companies will pitch in front of a targeted audience of investors and guests, and we'll be able to set up one-to-one meetings online. 2 weeks before the online pitches, we organized so-called opening tour. This is an overview online session where the 45 selected companies will give a short elevator pitch in front of the investors and guests. Invitations is a special service we provide to the participants, companies and investors, and you all can submit your own list of guests to be invited to online pitching sessions and opening tour. Activities next year include the following. So top 25 of presenting companies or the best rated during the pitching sessions will be invited to present one more time at Future 22. This is the biggest tech tour event with over 3,000 participants, more than 700 investors and 250 presenting companies from all tech tour programs and events from the past year. We planned this event for late January or February 2022. And these are the selection criteria. We are looking for later stage companies with viable proposition, close to the market or already on the market. The companies should be in seeking a significant Series A, B round or later in order to scale up their operations. Two main tracks have been defined for this selection, hardware and software. Sub-tracks will be also defined, but later according to the specifications of applied companies for the selection process. Now I will be going quickly through the selection process steps related to your engagement as selection panel members. Step 1, nominations. Every selection panel member will be kindly asked to provide a list of 10 to 15 relevant companies to apply for the selection process. Criteria were already mentioned in the previous slide and also listed here. The tracks, the stage of applicants, and geographic scope. We expect from you to provide about 200-250 nominations in total. The deadline to send us your list of nominations is 3rd of September. Just after this call, TechTour will provide online nomination form as a template. Step 2, company applications. TechTour team will follow up with all companies that you have been nominated. They will need to submit their applications online on the TechTour community platform. We expect at least 120, 150 of nominated companies to apply for the selection process. Deadline for companies to submit their applications is 9th of September. And this is responsibility of TechTour team to make sure they completed properly their online applications and got ready for the selection. Step 3, this is online reviews. You will be reviewing company applications on six evaluation points. Management experience, product and technology merit, market potential, go-to-market strategy and competitive position, presentation quality and business model clarity and credibility. The period of online reviews for you is between 13th and 30th of September. Every selection panel member will need to review between 10 and 15 companies in 3 weeks' time. The goal is that every applied company receives at least 3 reviews at the end. Please be aware that the reviewing process is fully online based. All you need to do is log in the TechTour platform with your email and work online anytime you prefer within these 3 weeks. Company reviewing manual, including detailed instructions, will be sent to you via email few days before the selection process starts. Step 4, selection. A TechTour team will organize 3 selection cut calls for selection panel members. Between 1st and 12th of October, 2 cut calls will take place to discuss the list of 22, 23 companies rated by score within your track, respectively hardware or software. Then between 13th and 20th of October is the final cut call. The goal here is to come up with the final decision about the best 45 companies in both tracks who will participate in the Deep Tech program this year. The exact dates of these calls will be set up later with you, the president and vice presidents of the two tracks. And finally, here you see listed the most important deadlines and upcoming activities. So 3rd of September, this is the deadline for you to provide your list of nominated companies. 9th of September is the deadline for companies from your list to apply for the selection. 13th until 30th of September is the time for the selection process, while you will need to review between 10 and 15 companies online. And between 1st and 20th of October is the period you will need to join two selection cut calls, one in your track and one general, to identify top 45 companies. And at the end, please join opening tour on 3rd of November, where the selected companies will give short elevator pitches to warm up the audience before actual pitching sessions, and online pitches taking place on 17th and 18th of November, designed for companies' full pitch. And this is the last slide I would like to share with you today. This is the TechTour team. We all are here to support you during the selection process, online sessions, and full Deep Tech program. If you have any questions or need of additional information, please do not hesitate to contact us anytime. Thank you very much for your attention. And now, if you have any questions, we are a bit late with the time, but we are here to answer you.
And I would like to clarify something for everyone. For the purposes of TechTour, UK is still part of Europe.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Osman.
Thank you, Osman.
All this information you will receive after the call, the slides and all the deadlines, of course, and also video recording of the call if you need to watch it later again. So if you know questions, I would like to thank you once again for joining us today. And we all wish you have a nice afternoon and evening. And see you soon.
Great.
And a nice summer.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.